Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of RTHD. In the last episode of this piano crash course that we have been doing, I would have explained a little bit about octaves and of course the octave related to the piano keys. In this episode, I want to actually continue on explaining the black keys and how to figure out the notes for the black keys. So stay tuned, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get to it now. Alright guys, so we're back, and in our last episode, of course, we saw that the octaves were from, it's basically 8 notes, the white keys, from, for example, C to the next C, that's considered an octave. Alright, so we want to continue on understanding a little bit more on how to determine the actual black keys on the keyboard. If you don't already know how to determine the white keys, I have a video, I believe it's on lesson 2, L2. Check that out first to understand. But basically, we should by now know where C is, and we know that this is the lowest C on the keyboard. So this is C, and then of course we have D, E, F, G, etc. Now, what we want to have a look at is what are these black keys here. So, if this is C, and we know this is D, what on earth do we call the one in between? Well, that's actually quite easy. The black keys are actually referred to as either flats or sharps. In fact, not to confuse you as yet, let's start by calling things sharps. Okay, let's call the keys sharps, and I'll give you an example of why we start this way. Now, if we actually look here, we have C. Therefore, to the right of the C, the black key to the right, the black key to the right of this C would be C sharp. So if we had D, what do you think would be this black key to the right of D? Well, it should be, if you said D sharp, you would be definitely correct. This is D sharp. Now, so we know that this is D sharp, this is E. Now, as you can see, there is nothing between E and F. There is no E sharp. Alright? So let's continue on with F. If we know this is F, then to the right of that would also be F sharp. Yes. And then if this is G, what should this be? Yes, G sharp. You're right. But, of course, we know that after G we always have A. So if we are on A, then this key should be, the black key to the right of A would be A sharp. And then we have A, this is B here. You notice B, there is no black key, so there is no B sharp. We start back at C. So what you have is C sharp, D sharp, there's no E sharp, there's F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. And that's pretty much what the black keys are. Alright, they keep repeating at 2 3s, and thus 5 in an octave. In between the octaves are 5 keys. Alright? And they are C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. Alright, so now that we understand what sharps is, let's understand what flats are, because they're pretty much the same thing. It just depends on how you speak about it. So let's look at this. So consider this idea. If we have a D, and we know to the left of the D is a black key, then this would be considered D flat. Now, it is a bit confusing, but let me explain it this way. It was C. If it was C, to the right of it would have been C sharp. So C sharp is also D flat. D flat. Does that make sense? So think of it this way, right? If C is good, then up by 1 is sharp. And then if D is good, then down by that half note is flat. Does it make sense? I hope that it does, because that's pretty much what flats and sharps are. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for viewing. There's not much more I can really point out in terms of flats and sharps. You just need to know it because, of course, when we're playing with notes, you know, sometimes we may be using flats and sharps. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for viewing. Please like and subscribe. Of course, share this thing out. Look out for the next video, simple tutorial. And I'll see you guys again soon on another episode of RTHD coming to a YouTube screen near you.